Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is such a pleasure to join you today on this wonderful day. My name is Casey Cottrell, and I am proud to be the superintendent of Caldwell Schools. Today is a day that so many of you have looked forward to for so many years. Your hard work and dedication have led you here. The class of 2020 will always be remembered for the challenging ending to your academic career. Although the year may not have ended in the way you envisioned it ending, I am thankful that you have persevered. This experience will make you stronger and more adept to change in the coming years. Sometimes the easiest rules to follow are the most difficult to accomplish. As I conclude today, I want to leave you with a quote from my favorite singer and writer, Bruce Springsteen. "No one you have been and no place you have gone ever leaves you. The new parts of you simply jump in the car and go along for the rest of the ride. The success of your journey and your destination all depends on who's driving. Be the driver of your own life." Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020.
I'm Ben Rutherford, principal of Caldwell High School. Welcome. And congratulations, class of 2020. We believe in the work that you've done, and we celebrate the sacrifices that you have endured to make it here today. I'm sorry you're not getting the traditional graduation ceremony, and I know this is not how you thought high school would end for you. However, this unexpected time is giving us something, well, unexpected. It's giving us a glimpse into who we are, because what we do, big or small, defines us. Before things got weird, we had a common way of doing things. We got up in the morning, we went to school, we did homework, we spent time with family and friends. But after COVID-19, those habits got washed away, and you were called to figure out what to do with your time. Many of you went to work, either at home or as an essential employee. Some of you rested, some of you played, some of you actually studied. But I hope all of you tried to do something good and be a hero at least to someone near you. Now, as the world returns to normal or a new normal, take the memories, experiences, and wisdom that you gained here from Caldwell High School and shape the world a little closer to your heart's desire. Instead of leaving you with a cryptic quote like, "Who is John Galt?" I ask that you, the class of 2020, simply to remember that what you do matters. Because what you do creates the society, the culture in which we live. So do good and be a hero to someone. Congratulations and thanks.
It's so wonderful to be here at the 2020 graduation. Very unconventional, but we're glad you're here with us. And I'd like to introduce our first speaker, valedictorian Bailey Miller.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our 2020 Caldwell High School graduation. First, I'd like to thank some people who helped us reach this milestone. With only a few minutes to speak, it would be impossible to thank everyone who helped us get here. To start off, I'd like to thank Mr. Cottrell and the school board for their support and the hard work they've done to make the remainder of the school year possible in these unprecedented times. Next, I'd like to thank Mr. Rutherford for his hard work to emphasize the importance of academics, athletics, and everything in between. I'd also like to thank the teachers, staff, and coaches at both the elementary school and here at the high school for the hard work they've done to make this school district feel like a family. Caldwell Schools have put together a great teaching staff, and all of my teachers have been a positive influence on me. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate Miss Jabot on her retirement and thank her for her unflinching effort to guide us through all things algebra, whether we liked it or not. A teacher of her caliber will be missed. I want to give a special thanks to Mrs. Yonts for fostering my interest in science, Mr. Crum and Miss Blackstone for challenging me to think and write at my full potential, and Miss Fry for helping me discover all the possible career paths in science. And thanks to Coach Dugan with his lessons in perseverance, integrity, and self-confidence. I also want to thank our parents and families for their unwavering love and support through all of the challenges we faced over the past 13 years. Lastly, I'd like to thank you, my peers. Each of you is unique and have made the class of 2020 something special. I know this isn't how any of us pictured it or wanted it, but we are graduating. As we know, this is a historic graduation, largely because we are all tuning in from afar. Not exactly the kind of historic graduation we were hoping for, but there's not much we can do about that. Even though this isn't the graduation we envisioned, it is still something to be proud of. This ceremony is only one occasion, but it represents all of the hard work we put in over the past 13 years. That hard work and perseverance is the part we should be proud of. The fact that this graduation ceremony is a little bit different does not take away our achievement and should not take away our pride. This spring has been unusual, to say the least. Many things about this pandemic have been negative, and we have missed out on many aspects of our senior year because of it. We've lost our spring sports, senior prom, and a traditional graduation ceremony, among other things. Despite this adversity, we have not allowed this pandemic to take away our values, and therefore have become stronger as individuals and as a community. This strength has come from the lessons we've learned from the hardships we've faced. These lessons are about being kind and making the most of every day, and I'd like to speak briefly about each of them. One of the biggest lessons we have learned during these times is about being kind. We have been shown incredible amounts of kindness over the last several weeks while we have all been confined to our homes. There have been several movements within the community to show how much they care about all of us. These include the Adopt a Senior movement, Mrs. Yurko's Super Senior Series on Facebook, the Class of 2020 yard signs, and the local businesses that have contributed to senior recognition through banners and social media. With all of the kindness that has been shown to us lately, it is especially important that we pay it forward. Starting today, it becomes our turn to answer the call to help and care for others in ways that are both big and small. Caring for someone does not have to be a massive undertaking. It can be the little things that are done daily and humbly that can be the most uplifting and rewarding. We cannot allow distance to tempt us into apathy. Like our community has done for us, we need to work to find new ways to be kind and helpful to others. Another lesson from this extended stay-at-home order is about making the most of every day. We've learned to appreciate what we have and have seen how quickly our daily lives can change. It is important to strive to be great and have goals for the future, but it is equally important to take the time to savor each day and all of its opportunities. As you all know, I've always loved books, and have been surprised by the depth of wisdom that can be found in children's books. One of my favorite pieces of advice comes from Cynthia Ryland in her book, All in a Day. In the last few pages of this book, she writes, "The past is sailing off to sea. The future's fast asleep. A day is all you have to be. It's all you get to keep. Underneath the great big sky, the earth is all a spin. This day will soon be over, and it won't come back again. So live it well, make it count, fill it up with you. The day's all yours, it's waiting now. See what you can do." Every day, we get the chance to make the world around us better than it is now. With everything that can happen in just one day, it is important to remember to take life one day at a time. On a lighter note, This pandemic has not been the only part of high school that has taught us valuable lessons. Many of these lessons were not as serious. From Miss B informing us that, no, we are not Google ninjas, to dubbing Mrs. Fry's cat skeleton the next king of the Pride Lands, high school has been an exciting adventure. We got to see why gravity is important to drainage during the flood of Mrs. Fry's room, and learned how many water bottles could fit in the mysterious hole in the wall in Mrs. Meredith's room. I think the final count was 51, but I could be wrong. After this year, we may not all be together in one place for quite some time. We will spread out to make our own lives and put down our own roots. Some of us are going to college, some are going straight to the workforce, and some have made the decision to serve in the armed forces. No matter what we do, we will be joining the proud legacy of the alumni of Caldwell High School. This group of alumni includes people from all walks of life that make us proud to be Redskins. After today, we start our own journeys to continue that legacy. Wherever you go and whatever you do, continue to make us all proud to be Caldwell Redskins. As a final parting to the class of 2020, I'd like to read a short scripture from the book of Numbers. Please take this message with you and know that it's what I want for all of you. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace.
Bailey Miller.
As we continue with the ceremony, I would like to invite Lily Yurko, valedictorian, up for her speech.
Once upon a time, well, wait, let me back up a little bit. Someone once told me that you are the main character of your story, so start acting like it. Since then, my life has forever changed, and before I get started, I want to thank everyone that has ever come in contact with me and my story. You helped me get here, and I thank you for that. Now, I often think of my life as a movie. No, not because I think I'm deserving to have my name plastered throughout Hollywood, although maybe someday, but because throughout high school, I came to a realization. I am the main character in my story, as well as the author and the director of this movie-like type of life. Gaining this perspective, I gained control of my world, knowing that I had to create the life that I wanted for myself because I was the only one who could. I realized my power and ran with it. As someone who is often worried about others' opinions, my mindset had completely switched. I am here to tell you, it does nothing to base your life around the other characters in your story, the other people in your life. I experienced a lot of growth soon after this. In the past 4 years, I've completely evolved and finally found myself. From the freshman girl who kept quiet and went along with the crowd, to the sophomore who went home and cried after someone made fun of her striped pants. From the junior who was sad and lonely, to the senior who found the interest that she loved. To me, right now, speaking to all of you, feeling the most like myself that I ever have. These stages or scenes of my life were not exactly always the most pleasant, but each moment is the reason that I am here today. Now, not to be too dramatic or anything, but you know that moment in any movie where the main character finally realizes their growth and purpose after the many trials that they've experienced? Well, these past few months have been that moment for me. As we all know, though, a good movie is nothing without a few plot twists, right? I always knew the class of 2020 was special, so honestly, a pandemic causing the cancellation of final send-offs and goodbyes seems a little overwritten, but not shocking. Thinking back to a few months ago, none of us could have known how much we'd be missing out on. I remember being excited to go watch a track meet this season, as I used to run but didn't anymore, but wanted so badly to support the team. I remember hanging my prom dress in my closet not that long ago, looking at the shining fabric, not realizing I wouldn't get to sing along to Don't Stop Believing one last time at a school dance, the only song everyone seemed to belt out all the lyrics to. I remember being so ready to walk down the elementary school hallways, having so many little faces looking up at us, as we saw the hallways that shaped us one last time. I thought I would be standing here today, looking out to see my classmates and community who watched me grow into the person I am today, ready to high five and hug everyone as soon as I got my diploma. As I can only sit here and imagine what could have been, it doesn't do any good to ignore the good that has come from this. I noticed a lot of things about myself. First off, if I was the main character in my story, then I better start dressing like it. Well, that's only part of it. But genuinely, I noticed how I loved fashion, I loved to learn the meaning behind the lyrics of songs, and I loved to write and journal about my experiences and my memories. I learned that I loved talking to people, and I learned that I could spend hours looking at old pictures, drawing inspiration from everything. I noticed how scared I get at the thought of losing the people I care about, and I realized how no matter what, I knew those people would always be there for me. I developed unexpected friendships with people I know I could count on anything for, and I recognized that I loved this town, these streets, and the well-known faces, and I realized I didn't want to go to some far-off college like I once thought I did. My heart has swelled with so much love during this year, and I don't think it would have been possible without these circumstances. I know. Everyone's tired of hearing about how this is a positive thing, but for the main character in my movie, it has been. And to my classmates, we've all been characters in each other's stories for as long as I can remember. And in these next few chapters, each of our stories are going to lose a few characters as we begin to go our separate ways. Remember, treasure this past, but you are the only one who will remain in the movie of your life, so live for that person. Our stories aren't ending, we're just continuing into our own sequels, you might call it. So remember who and what got you here today, but let it propel you into these next moments of our lives. So, do me a favor, put on your soundtrack, and don't roll the credits of your movie quite yet. Once upon a time, there was the class of 2020, and their stories were only just beginning.
Lily Yurko.
As we continue our speeches today, I'd like to invite Danielle Goman to come up, salutatorian.
Ladies and gentlemen, faculty and staff, today we celebrate the graduating class of 2020. It is my honor to be standing here today speaking. First off, I'd like to thank all of those who have helped me along the way. I say thank you to all the teachers who have taught me and given me the chance to grow with my class. Never in a million years would I have thought that I'd given the chance to spend the last 4 years of my life with such an amazing class and be one of the few who get to represent them. We have had our ups and downs, but I can proudly say that they have only brought us closer and made us stronger. Over the past 4 years, the class of 2020 has been hit with multiple challenges and hardships that have left us with no choice but to grow up and accept. Our freshman year, we're the newbies. We had to make many adjustments. We met new teachers we had only heard stories of. We started new courses we only dreaded taking, and made new memories we only dreamed of making. Our sophomore year was a bit of a challenge. I personally know that I took on way too much. I felt like I had to get it all done before my senior year arrived. Now that it is here, I wish I would have taken more time to relax. Even though I wish things were a little different, I don't regret it. You learn and you move on. It was in my sophomore year that I learned many things about myself, a part of who I am, and who I want to be in life. During our junior and senior year, things really started to change. With the welcoming of Mr. Rutherford, we updated some rules that were outdated and brought our school into the 21st century. We had to adjust our classes and accept the new changes that had knocked on our doorstep. As some of you know, I have moved time and time again, so I know what it is like to have to accept the change. While some of my classmates were born and raised in Caldwell, coming from a small and rural school may have made it difficult for them to accept the change. However, we eventually made it, and knowing that it would be some of our last years spent together. Our senior year was a bit of a bust. We all know this. This whole virus had us all heartbroken. But that shouldn't mean we forget about all the good times we had together. Our dances, our homecoming, pep rallies, and our junior prom. We have a strong class, one that is loud and proud. Over the last 4 years, we have won Tomahawk 3 times in a row. The other time, we don't talk about it. It was out of our hands. Well, that's what we like to tell ourselves. All that time, we were just having fun, building floats, cracking jokes. We didn't take the time to think that some of those moments would be our last as a senior class. In the next few months, our class will start to disperse. A few will go off to basic training to protect our country. Many will go off to college to further their education, and others will go straight into the workforce. There may be some who have no idea what they are doing, and that is okay. You don't have to know what you are doing to do great things. You only have to know that you are doing with all that you are, and greatness will follow. To be honest, I'm pretty scared. Both my twin sister, Crystal, and my brother, Andrew, will be going off to basic training. I have never been away from my sister for more than a few days. This will be the furthest we have ever been apart. I know we have had our ups and downs, but I know she has always had my back. Even though she won't be there to see me go off to college, I know she'll be there in thought. My family has really stepped up in this past few months, especially my mom. No matter what happens, I know she'll always be there to lend me a helping hand. No matter what, I'll always love you. So thank you, all of you. You are all very intelligent human beings. Most of you. I am happy to say that you did it. You made it. After all that we have been through, the end is here. But this isn't really the end. It is only the beginning to a much more exciting part of your life. Thank you.
Danielle Goman. Crystal Goman. Andrew BJORK. Mason ACKLEY. Courtney Allen. DARION Baker. KAZIA Barnes. Taylor BICKFORD. JOHNNA Border. Emily BOWEN. Jonna Cantwell. Marge Clark. Madeline Clark. Kendall Cobb. Abigail DeLancey. Alex Greenhoe. Casey Gessel. Logan Greathouse. Andrew Gregg. Lauren Griffith. Bryson Harper. Cam Hessen. Emma Carpenter. Chase Howard. Garrett Hunt. Alex Ingram. Emerald Kowalski. Shannon Lauer. Jamie McKee. Bradley Michael. Bradley Bates. Matthew Miller. Jebed Miser. Casey Nutter. Sophronia Parrish. Taylor Peters. Leslie Peffer. Hannah Pryor. Michaela Rayner. Madison Sayer. Madison Schaefer. Kiera Siddle. Douglas Strode. Preston Smith. Hannah Tanous. Bryce West. Tyler Whetstone. Colin Wiley. Jackson Williams. Sarah Yurko. Harold Zayas. Chloe McCauley. Drew DeLong.